Welcome back, Silver fans. Welcome back to my subscribers. Something different from Silver on the Silver Bull channel this week. When I did my video on reasons not to buy silver as a counterpoint, I probably got more comments from that video than anything else, and most of those comments were derogatory because they didn't take the time to watch my other videos and realise I was just trying to play the devil's advocate and cover both sides of an issue. But many of them said they were stocking silver and food and guns and ammo because they feared where the world was going. So I myself am starting to put some extra food aside. Having just come out of some floods, it seemed like a good idea. It's very sensible to have some extra food around, even just for a disaster. In our case, flooding is probably the most likely, but for those who believe in a more apocalyptic end, to avoid starvation. The interesting thing about this rice, this was $5 or $1 a kilo. There's 5 kilos there. It's already sealed in plastic. So, and it's good according to this till the 11th of 2013. And I'll eventually reseal this in some more plastic and try to vacuum seal it, which will take out all the air possible, and then that'll be good for much longer than that. And I'll probably write a date of 2014 here. So here's 5 kilos of rice, probably about a week's worth of food. It would be a very bland diet just on rice, but if you're starving, you've got a lot of a choice. You can always add stuff to rice. It's good of it if you catch a bit of meat or shoot a bit of meat. You can add that into the dish, or there's actually a lot of weeds that we treat as weeds now, but you can actually eat them. Flowers, all sorts of other things. You just chuck that in the rice as the basis of the dish, and the other stuff is your flavouring. Of course, another thing you shouldn't be without if you are going to store some food is some salt. In this case, rather than sea salt, I've chosen rock salt. And the advantage of rock salt, you won't find a expiry date on this one, because basically rock salt comes out of the ground where it's been sitting for thousands of years, and it will stay there as long as you keep water away from it. And even if you do get water in it, it's a case of just re-dehydrating it, so you get your salt crystals and a bit of rock salt. If you have a grinder, or you can just grind it up yourself in your hands, it's not hard. So a bit of rock salt for a bit of flavour and a bit of minerals. The interesting thing I find about this rice, and this really speaks to the global market we live in, is this actually has come from Pakistan. It's long grain white rice from Pakistan of all places, imported into Australia. We do grow our own rice, so we don't really need to get it from Pakistan. But the ironic thing about this, and probably the tragic thing, is they've had some massive floods in Pakistan last year as well that would have destroyed a lot of their crops, and that's one of the places they had food riots. So you can see there, don't expect your local government, if people are going hungry in your local area, to say, oh, we'll stop exporting food, we'll just sell it to our locals. Because here it is, product of Pakistan. I'm sure there's many people there who would have enjoyed eating it, and here it is in Australia, of all places, at $1 a kilo. Probably because they can simply get more money for it here in Australia. $1 a kilo is cheap to me, but $1 a kilo in Pakistan may be quite expensive. I don't know if anyone's watching this video from Pakistan. Please put in the comments and your thoughts about it, and whether there is enough rice there, or whether inflation is driving up your rice prices and making people go hungry. So this is just a start. By no means do I expect this to be enough to feed a family of 4 for any great time, but start by putting some stuff aside. I'm then going to vacuum seal it and then put it in a large white sealed container and just put it aside, and it'll be I'll also vacuum seal some wheat. Wheat vacuum sealed can last for up to 30 years. In wheat, it's not, it's the air interacting with the oil in the wheat that sends it rancid. So if you can get the air out of the product, store it in a cool place, it is likely to last for up to 30 years. So I mean, if you're going to store wheat though, you'll want to also buy a grinder, preferably a hand grinder. So if you're about how you can hand grind your own flour, and you'll also need, of course, salt. If you're going to make bread, you'll need some form of sugar for the yeast to feed on. And yeast you can get naturally out of the air. There's ways to do that. You don't have to buy it. In fact, the Egyptians, when they used to make their bread, it was solely using natural yeast from the air that made their bread rise. But you got to sort of know what you're doing. But there's plenty of information on the net explaining how to do that. So there we go, start of a bit of a food store. I'm going to put this aside now. When I get my vacuum seal, I will vacuum seal them both. What are your thoughts? Please comment, subscribe, and I'll try to get you some more silver porn in due course. Keep stacking.